Fast forward, my man will say a more cover and brought channel your social swamps. I'll say a pop creation television. Podcast stories are training me Chris big headlines. Near Jemre, na EDB Akroma Ewaha. Need me on Braxi Muse Ende. EDD can you message to me and subscribe to the channel. Hit on notification bell, share a map of friends to answer into me. Can be an idiom. I will leave you a comment under the comment section. And make sure when your cases are in sir. Young bone writing sim.
In the capital Accra, coming to you live from Osu in the capital Accra, and you know, as it were, that as the clock takes to midnight, you know, this deadline of the 120-day contract or social contract with Ghanaians is coming to an end. What I term in my own words as the covenant between the John Mahama administration and the Ghanaian people has reached its expiration. Tonight, we have just one simple mission: to take the pulse of the Ghanaian people and ask them really that have all the whispers of, you know, change turned into tangible reality for them. What do they make in their own view of the government's performance so far? I have a few gentlemen with me that I am going to engage to ask them really what their impression is so far of the government. You are live on TV3 Ghana tonight. President Mahama signed a 120-day social contract with Ghanaians, including your very self. Yeah. What do you make of his performance so far?
Okay. I think that for the first 120 days that this government came into power, he's enjoying the goodwill of the people. That's what I can say for now. I'm sure there have been mixed feelings about the performances across the people. Personally, some of the promises that he made, he's been able to make do with them, like the e-levy is off, and a few other things have been taken away. However, you realize also that in as much as some of these taxes have been taken away, new ones have also been added. I think from this month, utility bills have gone up. So people might say that you've taken one thing away and yet you've introduced other things. In other senses too, there's been some controversial decisions that the government wants to do.
What are some of those controversial decisions?
Well, the petition to remove the CJ, I'm sure people might have very varied views on that. In some people are saying it's good, others are saying that it's not the right thing to do and all that. I leave that for the judgment of the people.
And so in your own view, if I'm to ask you to rate the government so far, I would not say out of 10 or anything, but how do you rate the John Mahama administration from all that they had promised?
I think the signs are not looking too bad. It's okay. He can do much better, or there's, as they say, there's more room for improvement. Because if you look at the figures, if you look at from me, from where what I do, looking at the figures, I think that inflation, looking at interest rates, looking at some of these indicators, I would say that much can be done about it, or there's more room for improvement. So if I'm to rate, say, over 10, probably I would do like maybe 6, because I think that it's still early days yet. Right. Just 4 months into the year, into his administration. I'm sure if he continues on this track and then he doesn't get complacent, probably at the end of the day we could get what we bargained for and even more.
Thank you. Thank you so much. What's your name?
My name is Bernard.
Bernard. So Bernard is rating the John Mahama administration 6 out of 10. Thank you so much for your time. But there are still some few other people here that I want to engage to get their thoughts really on what they make of the government performance so far. I have this gentleman here, Abaimbai Oshebose. And Fuabe 120 muno, within the first 4 months, Nimua to say the way, and ne eberry, obey your man be brought in Puntunumane, a Bahodo or share. Who was it muno? A carry be said she was sitting in Tuaba, Yatuaba, or my people will be brave, what sharp, the performance in the Senate, Yamo.
Madam,
me pamacho
no mesum
pamacho performance na ekita no de enye ebize near to bia 15 cities say 25 cities also will be tax every so say lad be and I'm 14 point something water bill and I'm 4 point something who can in your be 18 point something na so yi level every so ne ye tua water bill ye tua lad bill akase wonye hwe 21 days
you say bebre na wonya adun ka so wonye hwe because okanoma bebre to say oba obeyi 11 if you were year if you were betting tax
wayi 11 no and betting tax no wayi na so de nyina akwa akwa nsuo no nti tax no oyi firi no kan yi 11 ni do oyi firi mu no a enuru 18 no asese wade water bill 18 no our day your friends.
All right, thank you. So because of time we may not prolong it, but his case really is that he believes whatever the government has done deserves better. There should be something better to be done from all the promises that they had given. Because coming to you live from Osu in the capital Accra, and as I said, where that as the clock takes to midnight, this deadline of the 120-day contract or social contract with Ghanaians is coming to an end. What I term in my own words as the covenant between the John Mahama administration and the Ghanaian people has reached its expiration. Tonight, we have just one simple mission: to take the pulse of the Ghanaian people and ask them really that have all the whispers of, change turned into tangible reality for them. What do they make in their own view of the government's performance so far? I have a few gentlemen with me that I am going to...
whose actions or inactions contribute to the fiscal slippages. Government has commissioned the Auditor General and 2 international audit firms to audit payables and commitments to validate their legitimacy and values and provide recommendation for corrective measures. An amendment of the Public Procurement Act has also been passed, making the issuance of a commitment certificate by the Minister for Finance a prerequisite for all procurements funded by the central government. Scrapping draconian taxes to alleviate hardship and ease the high cost of doing business. I promise to scrap the e-levy, the COVID levy, the 10% levy on bet winnings, and the emissions levy within my first 90 days in office. These tax expenditure measures were central to our 2025 budget statement. On April 2nd, 2025, I signed several bills into law, including the Electronic Transfer Levy e-levy repeal bill 2025, the emissions levy repeal bill, and the betting tax. We have delivered on 3 of these 4 specific tax repeals as promised. The COVID levy has intricate linkages to the existing IMF program. As a value-added tax, we have agreed with our multilateral partners to include it in our overall VAT rationalization exercise that is scheduled for September this year. We significantly exceeded our 120-day promises regarding overall tax reform by enacting other critical bills such as the Value-Added Tax Amendment Bill, the Income Tax Amendment Bill, the removal of VAT on motor vehicles, the Public Financial Management Bill, the Growth and Sustainability Levy Act, the Earmarked Funds Capping and Realignment Bill, the Gold Board Bill, the Energy Sector Levy Bill, and the Petroleum Revenue Amendment Bill. This swift legislative action underscores our commitment to providing relief and creating a more favorable economic environment. Reviewing taxes on industrial and agricultural imports. We're committed to reviewing taxes and levies on vehicles and equipment imported for industrial and agricultural purposes within our first 90 days. My government has initiated the crucial review process. The results of this comprehensive review will guide policy decisions and be incorporated into the 2025 mid-year budget review and subsequently the 2026 budget, ensuring that we support these vital sectors effectively. Commencing the 24-hour economy policy. One of our signature policies for job creation and economic transformation is the 24-hour economy policy. We promise to commence drafting the needed legal amendments and prepare for its implementation within the first 120 days. The program is designed to drive structural transformation across our economy, built on pillars aimed at revamping key sectors such as agriculture, manufacturing, and tourism. The program rollout has commenced in earnest. The 24-hour Secretariat is collaborating with the Development Bank of Ghana and the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund to operationalize financing pillars for this program. Cabinet has approved amendments to the Ghana Investment Promotion Center Act and the Labour Act to include specific clauses regarding 24-hour operations. These amendments aim to enhance social protection, create an enabling environment for the 24-hour economy policy, and promote conducive business and labor relations. Already several businesses are lining up to sign on to this policy. Some tangible actions have also been taken. The Ghana Investment Promotion Center has launched 24-hour premium services to eliminate processing delays for investors. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has launched a 24-hour passport service with the passport application headquarters operating 24/7. The DVLA used a 24-hour service to clear a long-standing 18 months backlog of licenses and will soon commission a new 24-hour service office at Adenta in Accra. The Youth Employment Agency is set to launch the Graduates in Corporate Support (GRICS) program, which will attach graduates to firms operating 24 hours a day. This program is targeting 20,000 graduates. The YEA is also partnering with security agencies, the fire, police, immigration services, to provide security for 24-hour firms, and is working towards training and deploying 23,000 recruits for this purpose. Recognizing the need for robust security, the police service is establishing a 24-hour police unit to improve 9 patrols and utilize technology supported by nationwide sensitization. The Minister of Energy and Green Transition is engaging the PURC to set up smart metering with a time of use tariff, charging a lesser tariff during the off-peak hours, a direct incentive for enterprises on the 24-hour economy policy. The Minister of Finance and Presidential Advisor on the 24-hour economy policy is finalizing a list of incentives for businesses to sign up for the initiative. The Ghana Publishing Company Limited has also begun 24-hour printing operations. In fulfillment of the 120-day commitment, we're pursuing new avenues of job creation, expanding employment opportunities, particularly for young graduates, and empowering the private sector as a key driver of sustainable job creation. We promise to establish an accelerated Export Development Council to promote exports as a key strategy for economic transformation. I'm glad to report that on Monday, I inaugurated a 19-member Accelerated Export Development Advisory Committee, which I chair myself. This committee will monitor export activities and performance across all ministries, departments, and agencies, including the Ghana Export Promotion Authority. We will not accept any business-as-usual attitude. The committee's functions include reviewing performance reports, monitoring targets, refining trade policy, deliberating on international trade issues, and providing policy guidance for exports. Ghana's export sector faces challenges, including cumbersome documentation processes, requirements from under-resourced regulatory bodies, and inefficiencies at our ports. According to the International Trade Center, these inefficiencies cost Ghana $4.3 billion yearly in losses, export losses. Sectors such as fisheries face contamination issues, and vital segments including women and SMEs remain underrepresented in our export sector. Establishing the Accelerated Export Development Authority Committee is crucial as a central platform for coordinating reforms, driving execution, and unlocking Ghana's full export potential. Under this Accelerated Export Advisory Committee, our bold strategy to grow non-traditional export earnings by several multiples over the current $3.5 billion exported annually by at least 2028. The Africa Continental Free Trade Area offers an unprecedented opportunity, and we're positioning Ghana as a regional manufacturing and export hub. This year, we aim to triple the number of companies certified under the African Continental Free Trade Area Rules of Origin. We intend to scale up our export readiness, training for youth and women, and expand into new markets while consolidating our existing partnerships. Ghana will become a hub for products, digital services, knowledge exports, and our creative industries. Convening a national consultative conference on education. I promise to convene a national consultative conference on education to build consensus on the necessary improvements to our education sector. I'm glad to report that this promise has been fulfilled. Over 2,000 proposals were received, including a survey on free senior high school with 20,000 respondents. The report on the consultations will be ready by the end of May 2025 and will be made public. The extensive consultation was crucial to building a genuine national consensus for sustainable reform in our education sector. The no academic fee policy for all first-year students in public tertiary institutions was a key promise to ease burden on families and expand access to higher education. My government has taken concrete steps to implement this. 452,940,012 Ghana cedis has been allocated for the payment of academic facility user fees for 156,294 first-year students in public tertiary institutions for the 2025 academic year. Get Fund has also been instructed to pay the fees directly to the tertiary institutions, ensuring timely disbursement. The No Fee Stress application portal has been developed and is now live for first-year students to register and authenticate their eligibility for this government funding. Introducing social interventions, free tertiary for persons with disability, and Mahama Cares program. We're committed to introducing vital social interventions like the free tertiary education for persons with disability and the Ghana Medical Trust, otherwise fund, otherwise called Mahama Cares. For free tertiary education for persons with disabilities, budget allocation for beneficiary students has been captured in the 2025 budget statement. The Minister for Education has made relevant data available for Get Fund so that it can prepare for the payment for this 2025-2026 academic year. The Ghana Medical Trust Fund is a bold national policy that provides direct financial support to Ghanaians who are suffering from chronic diseases that are not fully covered by our National Health Insurance Scheme. It serves as a lifeline for chronic disease care. On April 29, 2025, I officially launched the fund at the University of Ghana Medical Center, where I pledged 6 months of my salary as my contribution to start. Vice President Nana Jane also pledged 4 months of her salary to the Mahama Cares Fund, and I have since directed that every government appointee of mine should contribute at least the equivalent of 1 month's salary to the fund. This includes CEOs and all other appointees. I encourage every Ghanaian to contribute as you are willing and able. The short code for the contributions across all mobile networks is star 225 hash. Star 225 hash. Disbursement to support needy patients will begin once the governing board is put in place. The draft Ghana Medical Trust Fund bill is ready and will be presented to Cabinet at its next sitting for approval and forwarded to Parliament when it resumes from recess. We are united in this mission to touch lives and bring health, healing, and hope and joy to our people. To improve menstrual hygiene, management, and remove barriers to education, I promise to reintroduce the distribution of free sanitary pads to female students in primary and secondary schools. The 2025 budget statement allocated 292,400,000 Ghana cedis for this commitment, and I launched this initiative on the 24th of April 2025. Procurement is ongoing for over 6 million sanitary pads, with each student receiving 3 packets per term at the basic level and 4 packets per semester at the secondary level.
ANC ahodo etimi call so channel yiso high population television. Ya mishraw on trewoshim so yemre ewo ha. Omari so bitimi subscribe, share, hit on notification bell na emma ebusuakuo no emu enye kese. Ya mishraw se obeka ebusuakuo no. That's an so bad here di adom bi edom yenia. Yensenhia mu na yensumo o kwan so kra. Ha. A population television. Me that's so yemre.